just for me.
You want to make a difference, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubt. The world is starting for your laughter, yearning for your love. Your love, you got to live. Love it like you want it more and more. Be you, that's what you're here for. You're more than enough, more than enough.
Take one step and another, nothing's done, nothing on you.
Leave all your doubts. You're stronger than those shadows that make you blue. Stand up, you'll be the difference now.
Philip? Hi, everybody. This is Frank Coppola. It's really good to see everyone. Just hold on 1 second. Here we go. Again, this is Frank Coppola with the ADD Coaching Group. The ADD Coaching Group is a media company working directly with professionals and entrepreneurs as well as people in the corporate arena. Our goals include increased productivity, increased income, communication, and education using the power of entertainment and music. We are committed to your success. And our tagline is, the more you know, the more you grow. Today, I'm going to be working with the whole area of focus. Now, focus is one of the key components to success, whether in your business or your personal life. So let's start with what focus is. Focus is the foundation of communication. Communication is a key component for success in all areas of your life. Ergo, it's critical that we are able to focus, if not learn what is focus, how to focus to meet success. So, clarity plus focus equals success. Now, I'm hoping or looking forward to participants being able to engage in a conversation to talk about where they may be having issues with focus and where they may not be having issues with focus. I think it's critically important. So let me define what focus is. It's a central point as of attraction, attention, or activity. A point of concentration, emphasis. So I know for myself, if I'm not focused, I'm usually somewhere else. And whatever I'm attempting to complete, it doesn't get done. Then I wind up feeling bad about myself, criticizing myself, and really feeling like there's something wrong with me. No, it's just that I'm not using the steps to be able to focus. So again, a focus has to do with a central point, like an attraction or attention or an activity. For example, doing your books. We're going to be focusing in around business. A point of concentration and an emphasis of some sort. So that's what, here are some synonyms for what focus is: axis, a base, capital, central, core, ground zero, right? Heart, hub, nerve center, nexus, etc. So we're really talking about looking in and diving into whatever it is that we want to accomplish. Because focus is also about accomplishing something. So one of the key components to be able to focus is to know what it is that you want to focus on. It's not a bad idea. Now, here are some antonyms of focus: disarrange, disorganize, disperse, divide, ignore, scatter, separate, neglect. So which area would you prefer to be working in? Something that's disorganized, something that really is scattered. And when that happens, it puts you in a position of not being able to be successful. So why is focus so important?
Is that question for me?
Well, yeah, Philip, here's a question. Why is focus so important?
Well, it's without focus, you you don't really know where you're going. So focus is required to accomplish anything, really. You know, you got to focus to eat.
Uh-huh.
Right? Because basically, if you go all over the place, like, wait a minute, maybe I should be in my car right now. And, you know, you're cooking on the stove and you're trying to do the car thing, you know, you're lacking focus. And therefore you burn what's on, you know, your car runs out of gas because you had it turned on, anticipating, you know, so focus is really required to accomplish anything.
So let's take Phoenix National Network. That came out of an idea that you had, right?
Yes, sir.
And you called me up and said, what do you think about this? And we started to jump into it. But throughout the process of about, I guess it's a year, you really kept your eyes on where you were going, completely focused no matter what. Correct?
Yes, correct. Yes,
So
correct. Yes.
How does it feel now after a year when people say to you, hey, Philip, if it wasn't for you, such and such and such?
Wow. It's actually, it's very humbling in the sense where, you know, Frank, when we really started, it was just a concept, you know, and then it just kind of matured and became something real and tangible, especially when, you know, the doors started opening for us to do more of it. Right. So I think that, you know, my focus was primarily on my passion. It wasn't on the goals in itself. It was on my passion. It was more of, I really want to help people. I really know this area and as an expert here. And so I was like, you know, this is something I want to do. I want to help people in this area. And I believe that's what drove me to accomplish the things that I accomplished. And of course, by the grace of God, everything came to fruition. Yeah.
Sure. One of the great things you mentioned, the maturity, but at the Phoenix National Network, one of the key components is being silly, because
it's true.
Having humor is one of those things that brings you tremendous satisfaction and allows you to, I think, play within the whole arena, which also is a tremendous place for creativity to pop up.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I believe that we have certain elements within our group that stimulate, fun, and that's why I appreciate Ricky and Oscar so much, because they bring humor to the table.
Yeah.
And even if it's something that is like, wow, we should be so serious about, and then they just throw like a little monkey wrench in there and you go, okay, it's not that serious.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
So yeah, it's greatly appreciated.
So, hey, Ricky, are you on the line?
Yes, he
Sorry,
is. Yes, yeah.
I haven't been focusing on this focus conversation. So
Yeah, that's great. I think this is one of the great things about this, that we'll be able to like point to, right?
yes, I
Mhm.
am here. Actually, I've been listening. I'm just
Okay, so here's a question for both of you. When do you need to focus in your particular life?
on my particular life. You need to focus every day. Focus on the road. If you don't focus on the road, like Phil was saying, you're gonna put yourself and other people's lives in danger. Driving and texting, that's a big thing. Don't do it. If you're gonna do anything, go hands free. But mostly, as a mortgage broker, as a loan originator, I have to focus on, when I'm doing, I like to keep things light, like Phil was saying. However, there is a certain aspect of professionalism that you have to bring to the table. And, I got to focus on people's income. I got to focus on their assets. I got to focus on their credit, go through these reports, go through my findings. I have to focus and narrow in on each borrower's profile, because that's what I do. I have to do my due diligence. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to myself if I don't focus on these aspects. When I get a purchase contract, I have to read it. It's actually one of the aspects that I don't, that I kind of miss out on, because, there's, instead of watching TV at night or something like that, I'd much prefer, the part of me, it says, I'd like to read a book at night instead, or wake up in the morning and read a chapter of Moby Dick or whatever it may
Right,
be, all these books
right.
that I have. However, I'm stuck reading title reports. I'm reading purchase contracts. I'm reading all these things that I don't want to read, but I have to. It's my
Right.
job and it's my due diligence. So I'm stuck. I focus on these. When's the closing date? When do I need to? What is included in this purchase contract? These are aspects that I have to hone in and focus on. Is it hard? Yeah, I'm borderline ADHD. I was diagnosed as a kid. I'm not quite there, but
Right.
yeah, there are times, squirrel. There are times where,
Bicycle,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I get that way,
Mhm.
but so yeah, those, when you're talking with, focus, it's in every aspect of your life. You got to focus on conversations, people, friends, focus on your family, focus on somebody who's having trouble,
Mhm.
personal life, sickness, mental illness. That's when you got to focus. If you've got a family member or a relative, that's dealing with depression, something like that, focus on them. What can you do to make their day a little brighter and not so
Mhm.
dark?
Yeah, so
Focus, get out of yourself and focus on somebody else. And I guarantee you'll feel better as a person doing it.
that's great. So what's a key motivation for you as you're doing your loan office?
I mean, my key motivation is the fact that I actually enjoy
Mhm.
I enjoy doing what I'm doing. It's not a job to me. It's a career. It's a lifestyle. And I love being able to help qualify a borrower to get them and their family into a home where they didn't think it was possible, or where they were denied somewhere else. That's what I do. I find every loan is like a puzzle, and I solve that puzzle by working magic, so to speak, and to make the scenario work. Maybe we have to rebuild their credit. Maybe we have to find a place with lower taxes. Maybe this isn't something we can do tomorrow, but maybe it's something we can take a look at 3, 4, 6, 8 months down the road. We plant that seed and we watch it sprout. that's what I do. And that's, that's what drives me, is just getting the satisfaction from, you know,
Seeing the end result.
seeing the
Yeah.
end result.
Yeah.
And then when
And
I get a
you're-
referral from these clients, they're like, oh, hey, by the way, so-and-so referred me. I'm like, I just closed a deal for them last month and they're referring me people. That means I did my job and they enjoyed working with me.
Yeah,
And
and
that's my
part of
drive.
part of also the result is that, you're financially rewarded for that, for doing that,
Hmm.
which
Yeah, I
is,
got to get paid.
one of the
I got kids
benefits,
to feed.
sure. So here's something, we don't have to write it down, but think about it. What would be three things that are important to you to focus on right now? Either
Wow.
one of you.
Life,
all
love,
right.
and the pursuit of happiness. I think I got
Not
that from
bad.
somebody.
Say again?
Are you
Life, love, and the
talking?
pursuit of happiness.
Are you talking like short-term focus and kind of things like?
Yeah, whatever comes to mind for you around,
Okay,
three
so
things that are important for you to focus on.
all right, so I'll go with short-term and long-term.
Okay.
I'll split it up. So short-term, I wanted to make sure what we're doing right now gets finished up. I have a couple projects that I'm working on that I want to tie up, and then I'm going to go and focus on my family and get some things done for them. Long term, it's my long term focus is to get us on local television. That's my long term focus. And so we're knocking on doors and tapping.
Mhm.
Ricky is also a great resource in that. And so we help each other reach our goals. That's more of a long-term focus, or even mainstream TV, if we can get
Yeah,
on mainstream TV, that'd be
sure.
great. Anybody
Sure.
watching, listening, that's our focus.
Jump in anytime. We are available.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to just set up what we're doing here. We're going to talk about focus. We're going to talk about what it's not. And you're going to be involved in participating. Prime example of how to focus and to be clear in communication, because we want to communicate effectively in business, because right now we're in the world of business.
Absolutely.
And whatever,
Yes.
whatever we're talking about here in business is completely applicable to one's personal life.
Absolutely.
Okay, so any consequences of not being able to stay on task?
Yeah. Certain things start to get taken out of your life if you lose focus. And so, that like there are literally bills that have to be paid. And so,
them.
yeah, that guy named Bill, everybody knows Bill. I think everybody knows Bill. Everybody pays their homage to Bill.
Yeah.
So when Bill shows up at your door, you have
Yeah.
to take care of him. So, if you're not focused on, if you don't finish what you started when he goes to work or, anything else, your house being clean, things falling apart eventually. If you find a leak under your sink and you go, I'll wait on that, and you wait and wait and wait. Next thing you know, you have a bigger problem in the long
Right.
run. So
Is your health affected?
Oh yeah.
How so? What do you think?
Because I mean, go ahead, Ricky. You were saying something? Oh, Oh, okay. Okay. Stress. I think when you lack focus and the discipline to follow through, you get stress,
Mhm.
and stress affects you physically and mentally,
Mhm.
and emotionally. You get affected by stress.
Mhm.
So stress is a big factor.
Okay, so let me ask about benefits.
Benefits.
What are some benefits to being able to stay focused, particularly in business?
you get more production done throughout the
Oh,
day, the week. But production, you know, if you can find that focus zone, I
Mhm.
mean, sometimes I avoid the office because I know I get more done at home.
is that
So
right? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. When I'm here with the guys, we're shooting the stuff. We're joking around. When I'm
Mhm.
at home, got nothing but the news on in the background, or a movie, or music, or something to keep
Right.
me focused, and I get more production done.
It's interesting. You mentioned that you're an ADD guy. I am too. And I remember I was at a business partner out in New Mexico, and we decided that we were going to write a book about my particular brand of ADD, et cetera. So
Mhm.
he was in another room because he's a script writer, and he would go into another room, spend an hour or two writing script, and then he would come out, and I would be in the living room. The television would be on, the music would be on, I'd be watching a video. I had all these things going on.
Mhm.
Why? Because that was the way I concentrated.
Mhm.
And my partner would say, like, what are you doing? I said, I'm,
Yeah.
concentrating. Yeah.
You know what? And I think that's all of us. All of us have that trait, because if I don't have some noise, something in the background
Right.
going, things get too quiet, and then I start to lose focus,
Yeah. Yeah.
because now my mind is like, okay, things are so quiet that I think you need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know?
I call it winding up in La La Land.
Exactly. Yeah. So in order for, we, what helps us stay focused is, you have a little music going, you're working on this, maybe you're multitasking, you have three things going at the same time,
Right.
and it keeps my mind, actually it helps to keep my mind focused on the primary thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me give you a key statement that I learned a long time ago. And it has to do with your ability to stay focused. So it's pay attention to what you're paying attention to.
Mm,
Pay attention to what you're paying attention to.
got it.
Because if you don't, la la land. I mean, what does that trigger for you when I say that? Pay attention to not la la land, but to pay attention to what you're paying attention to.
Paying attention to what you're paying attention to. That's in my mind, I don't know. That means more like, focus more on what you're focusing on. I guess
Yeah,
that's my interpretation of that.
sure.
Double down. Call it doubling down on your focus.
Well, sometimes you can focus too much,
Hmm.
and the result of that is you move into burnout.
Hmm.
So what I've researched and found out burnout is comes about because you just don't have a clear direction of what you're going to do, nor do you have a clear expectation of what you want to do.
Right.
There's an indecision to move towards something.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's going to happen, because if I do that, then I could, I could.
No, but what I get from what you're saying is, Frank, is like too much focus. You can have too much focus, or you can have too little focus. Like, for
Yes.
instance, too much focus is if your house is on fire, but you can't take your mind off what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like you're working on a computer and you're so focused in, which I believe that would be more of a guy trait. Where we kind of just focus in on something, and we're like, no, I gotta finish. Let me finish this first. And then I move on, but then the house could be on fire, and your priorities are offbeat, or you're not focused enough, and you're all over the place, and nothing is coming together. So You know, having the right amount of focus is good.
Yeah. I find also one of the key burnout issues is boredom. You know, you just get bored doing the same thing over and over and over again. And you wind up you wind up going on in another direction. Okay. Simply because of the boredom. And one of the key ways to avoid boredom is to be able to stay motivated. Now, for example, the PNN, you were very clear on what you wanted to do. You certainly stay focused, and you probably, went off and didn't, had other things to do, but you always came back to staying focused. And part of that is about motivation. So one of the things is that many people just don't know how to stay motivated. So I'm going to give you a simple, matter of fact, let me see if I can share the screen.
Yes, you can. You've been
Okay, let
empowered
me,
to.
because, okay. Can you see it?
Nope, we can't see anything yet. I like your background, Ricky.
Thank you. What we have here is basically black. That's not the background. All right, so this happened once before. Let me, I do not want to close out of this meeting. So can you see me? Where it's a little bit in gray, but can you guys see me?
Yes, I can see you. Yes.
Okay, because if I click close out of the program, I'm out of the program.
Okay, so let's talk us through it.
Okay, so motivation equals, okay, what is it that you want to accomplish? Let's see, what do you expect to have happen, right? Times, it's got to mean something to you. It's got to have a value. Because Ricky said, I want to help people. That's very, very important for him. It keeps him on task.
Right.
You want to help people by getting PNN people as possible. Television is a key motivator for that.
Right.
Keeps you focused. The other thing is you need to have a time limit. You have to say, okay, in 6 months, I want to be on television. All right. In 6 months, I want to have so many homes closed, because the more homes closed, the more people I can help. Right.
Right.
So that's delay. And the other part of it is impulsivity. Okay. It's being impulsive. Okay. So now, what does that all mean? If you have an expectancy, you have something you want to have happen, you have a value, you have a time. So let's say you want something to be done in a month. A month goes by and it doesn't get done. So you say, okay, what I'm going to do is recommit for another month. The month goes by and it doesn't get done. Okay. Now, in my opinion, that's where boredom kicks in.
Right.
When that
procrastination leads to boredom, right?
Oh, exactly. So what happens, it's actually the other way around. What happens is you go into impulsivity, which is the fourth part of this formula. So when something goes into impulsivity, you start looking around for something that's more interesting.
Got you.
Which keys into procrastination. So motivation is the key for overcoming procrastination. And the lack of motivation causes procrastination. Got me?
Got you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the other part of it is procrastination drains all hope of staying focused. Isn't that? Yeah.
Procrastination. Repeat that.
Procrastination
Mhm.
drains any hope of staying focused.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Why do you say that?
put her up. Well, you think about it. Well, I'm going to go do something. I'm going to do PNN, right?
Mhm.
And it keeps on pushing off. You keep pushing it off.
Yeah.
Oh, I just need, another this, or I can't really do it. I got to get my sock drawer in order. I got the greens and the blues and the blacks. They're all mixed up. So I better go handle
Put 'em
my
together.
sock drawer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
more you do
yeah.
that, the less you'll stay focused on what you want to accomplish.
So isn't that because sometimes people with the fear of the unknown drives people to procrastinate?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely one of the elements, without a
Mhm.
doubt.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's like
Many times people don't know they're afraid.
no, that's true. Exactly. Yeah. I
They're
mean,
just-
because
yeah.
yeah, no, because it that kind of fear, we hold it as natural. Be like, oh, you know what? Or we make a very logical excuse not to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, it's not the time yet. The timing is off, or, I don't have this, so I'll
Yeah,
wait
now-
till next year.
Yeah. And if you're in your own business, that's one thing. But if you're working for somebody
Mhm.
and you start doing that, guarantee you won't be around too much. Once, twice, it's okay.
Right.
Hey,
Guys, I have a
Ricky.
client. I'm going
Yeah.
to jump off. I apologize. I have a
Hey, Ricky,
meeting.
thanks for being online. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Anytime. Good luck, guys. I'll see you later.
Okay. So, hey, Philip, let me just go over what the ADD coaching group
Yes, absolutely.
does. It really works with entrepreneurs, professionals, people in corporate America. And
Mhm.
the purpose is to gain productivity, to gain the ability to move and grow and to success. And it really stays in the arena of making life easier by doing business easier. Because I don't believe in complicating stuff.
Mhm.
Doesn't make sense.
Keeping it simple.
Keeping it simple, like my brain. No. So I just want to say, if I want to make an offer here, I have a 6-part program that I'm going to give away for free. It's overcoming breakdowns and procrastination. It's on audio. There are approximately half-hour to 1-hour talks about procrastination. I sold this program, $300-400 a while back ago.
Mhm.
So if anybody is interested, we do a lot of talking about focus, but it's primarily breaking through the procrastination, 6 parts. So if that's the case, please contact me
Mhm.
at 646-295-5625,
Mhm.
or you can send me an email at frank@addcoachinggroup.com. That's 2 G's, coachinggroup.com. And I'm be happy to send these along to you. It would be my pleasure. This is a very, very good program, if I say so myself.
Yes, of course. I mean, you've done quite a few programs, Frank, and I'm very excited that you're sharing that with everyone as well.
Thanks. So let me give you some benefits in business by staying focused, okay? One is increase income. So we're in business to increase income. If we didn't do that, then we would be in a hobby. And we don't want to be in a hobby, we want to be in a business. The other thing is building relationships, whether it's with vendors, whether it's employees, whether it is in your personal life. So that's an incredibly important benefit in business, is to build relationships. And the other one is health, like you mentioned it, Philip, because if you're so overworked, what will happen is you can get anxious, you can be stressed, you won't be able to stay clear to make the next move. So decision-making is included in all that. So that's some of the benefits in business. Let me give some benefits in your personal life. One, increased whatever it is for you. Better time with your family, better time with hobbies, whatever increases for you. The next one has to do, again, with relationships, the quality of relationships, primarily with your family, because every single person that I know that has family, that's where they put their attention. And if you are so engaged in other things like business, your personal life will suffer. So one has to balance. Is it so important in my business that my personal life suffers, or vice versa? So part of what we do is to help people balance out their lives so that they can able to work better and to have a family life that matters. The other one is health, and we've gone over a few of those. I have a client that has 6 different, as he says, buckets, and he is incredibly successful in every single one of those buckets. And he says, I need to be able to, relax. So we've been having a conversation about balance, and every time we turn around, and I say, listen, you have to make a choice, because not every one of those choices has the same weight. So meaning his family is more important than, say, him going to the gym. They're both important, but there has to be a choice there. The other one in your personal life is sex. That's not a bad thing. Sex is important. It's incredibly, it allows us to relax and allows us to get connected to the people that are most important. And then the other thing, one of the benefits of being able to stay focused is joy. Because when you are absolutely doing something that matters to you, you will have the experience of joy. Like for you, Philip, P&N, when you're doing the work and you're getting results, you're happy. But
Oh, absolutely.
It's beyond
Absolutely.
happy. You're joyful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just in doing the work in itself is a joy.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So how are we doing so far? Do you have any questions?
Well, Frank, how did you come about on the subject with Amen Clinic? For those of the people who don't know what that is, tell them what that is. The Amen Clinic.
The Amen Clinic is one of the leading authorities in the area of brain health.
Mm-hmm. And
they do that through a system called SPECT scan, where they actually take, for lack of better terms, X-ray of your brain.
Oh, wow.
And by observing certain parts of the brain, they can tell where you are having difficulties. For example, they've worked a lot with professional football players that have had damages to their brains.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they've taken the SPECT scans and say, you know what? Just above your prefrontal cortex, which is over here,
right,
you have a damage. So what we're going to do, what we're going to do is give you supplements, medication, exercise, and what happens is the brain begins to heal itself. And
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
and part of that is to be able to really be very clear on where you're going and to stay motivated to complete the work.
Got it. Got it.
All right.
Yeah,
So I love doing work with people in that area.
that's
You know,
cool,
because
man.
interestingly enough, I had spec scan done of me because I figured if I'm dealing with my clients, they're doing that, I should do it myself.
Mhm.
So when I got together with the doctor, he said to me, "Did you have a car accident when you were about 18 years old? Or did you bang your head when you were about 18 years old?" I said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did have a car accident." He
Mhm.
said, "Well, we see where that happened and we see where the depression in the brain is. And that's part of the reason that you're dealing with your ADD. It's not allowing you to stay focused. So now I'm taking supplements, et cetera, and I can feel that there's a difference. There's a real difference. These guys are real pros.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So look, I'm going to give you a little formula now,
Mhm.
and it has to do the importance of business. Okay, here's let's say you're going to set a meeting with somebody. Here's the formula. You're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. You're going to tell them, and then you tell them what you've told them. Okay, you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. You tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. So let me give you an example. In terms of telling them what you're going to tell them, let's say you're going to set up a meeting. Today at 10 a.m., there's a meeting in the conference room to review the Walmart project. Boom. The owner of the company or whomever says, here's what we're going to do, and here's the focus of that. Now, the tell them part is when you're actually in the meeting, you start to go through the tell them part. We will go over the goals, where we are currently time-wise. Are we on target? The responsibilities of the participants. Where do you believe the client is in relationship to completion? So what are we doing here? We're making sure that the people stay on task to complete the job, as well as financially staying on job. Because I've seen time and time again, if there is no communication or a breakdown of communication, you can guarantee that people will start losing money. Guarantee. Then you tell them what you told them. Again, there's a meeting today, 10 o'clock in the conference room to review the project, along with all the responsibilities essential for the Walmart project. If you do that, you will definitely stay on task. And by the way, this formula works in all areas of your life, all areas of your life. So let's wrap up. I want to thank you very, very much for participating and being part of this project that I'm presenting. I hope you've learned a great deal. And hey, Philip, let me ask you something. What did you learn about yourself today?
I learned that when you talk about focus on what you're focusing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how does that apply to yourself?
Well, basically, it's saying that sometimes you have to examine how the measure of intensity you need to have on a focus.
Right.
And measure to whether it's sufficient or lacking.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what did you learn about the situation?
The situation.
Whatever the situation is for you, because you mentioned PNN, I
Yes.
think you mentioned your family as well, too.
Well, yeah. I mean, the situation with that is you have to have balance.
Right.
You know, you have to create levels of balance, and so a part of focus is to plan out. You know, plan out your time, manage your time, so
Right.
that you can, you know, have the balance you need in
Right.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking for a joke to finish up on this.
Oh,
And
I've lost.
a guy
I
walks
think
into
that's the joke.
a guy walks into a bar and says, "How do I get to?" The guy says, "Focus," and he says, "On what? Have a beer." So whatever that is. Again, my name is Frank Coppola. I'm with the ADD Coaching Group. We are a media company dedicated to your success and to make as much money as we possibly can so you can take care of a lot of people.
Yes.
Again, my absolute pleasure. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Frank. Take care, everybody.
I've been standing on the corner, waiting for the light to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over. Will the world stop just for me?
You wanna make a difference, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubts. The world is starting for your laughter, yearning for your love. Your love, you got to live it like you never lived before. Love it like you want it more and more. Be you, that's what you're here for. You're more than enough, more than enough.
Take one step and another. Nothing's got nothing on you.
Leave all your doubts. You're stronger than those shadows that make you